Welcome to the 77th Bradby Shield encounter first leg, brought to you from Pallekelle. Trinity College taking on Royal College here at the Trinity College Rugby Stadium. Dialogue Schools Rugby League Week 6 encounter, but this is so very much bigger. Incredible game on the cards in our hands as we zoom into this one, surrounded by lush greenery here at Pallekelle. Trinity College Rugby Stadium hosting the 77th Bradby Shield first leg. Both teams minutes away from coming out to battle in their respective colors, representing their alma mater, and this one is going to be a cracker. No matter how you performed before the Bradby, it does not matter, as you will possibly here at the first leg. Weather for today's game is pretty decent despite the maximum temperature saying 29. It currently feels like 27, 26 at Pallekelle. It's partly cloudy, but there is a strong wind blowing from and joining me in the hot box today to take you through this game alongside Abdullah Yusuf and myself. Very good evening to you, gentlemen. Absolutely brilliant atmosphere here, and absolutely brilliant stuff here.
Absolutely, you can just feel the tension in the air here at Pallekelle. Both teams just going through their warm-up routines. Both teams coming to this encounter with a little bit of confidence. Royal notching up 4 consecutive victories since that initial loss to St. Peter's. Trinity, after that shock loss to Dharmaraja in their first game, have picked things up relatively well. A bit of a slump in that defeat against St. Peter's, but their final game against Science College notching up a very good win. So I'm fairly sure that they'll come into this game with a lot of confidence.
76 Bradby encounters have been played so far, with 2 games being drawn, and both of them one was in 1992. Abdullah Yusuf was part of that, I believe, no, just a little later, and then in 2016. Trinitians currently leading the tally, 39 victories to Royals 35, but I can tell you that Royal College are currently really on the charge to catch up to the Trinitians. Chanaka Trinitians would be hoping that they make this 40 here at the 77th Bradby Shield.
Yes, indeed, Sudarshana, they will be hoping to get over that magical 40 mark, but of course, recent form very much in favor of Royal College. But as you said before when the broadcast started, it's going to be a Bradby Shield like no other. Here we go, the recent 10-year results. We have the last time that Trinity actually won the game won the Shield was in 2014, but it doesn't matter because they won the last game, Sudarshana. So that's an important factor for them to hang on to as well. And you look at the scores, and you have that encounter in 2016 also, which was tied.
Yeah, when you look at this last 10 years, Royal College winning it 5 times. Trinity, their 2 wins came in 2013 and 14. 2 years the Bradby wasn't played, and in 2016 the game being tied. But Royal College will take a lot of confidence at the fact that since 2015 the Bradby Shield has not left the Reed Avenue. They will want to make sure that they continue the same. And like Shanaka mentioned, despite the 10 years results favouring Royal College, Trinity will take confidence on the fact that they got the better of Royals here at Pallekelle last time the 2 teams met. Let's take a look at how the games panned out. This was at the Royal Complex, first leg of the 76th Bradby Shield. And a lot of people were coining a very close affair, especially given the fact that during the league round game, it was Trinity College who came on top, but Royal College, Colombo, on this day was in a different mode. They ran 29 points unanswered and really swept Trinity out of their feet.
And what was really remarkable about that, and what has been remarkable about Royal sides under Dushyant Luke in the recent past, has been the fact that they have really focused on their defense, Sudarshana. So not only are they scoring the points, but they're preventing the other side from getting anywhere close to the try line. And that's going to be the real test for this Trinity College team today. Are they going to be able to get their runners, people like Manasekara, into dangerous positions so that they can run at this Royal defense? Are they going to be able to scatter things out? But this is where Royal are going to excel closer to the line, and that's where I think the game is going to be won and lost.
Now, especially Abdullah, this first game, first leg of the 76th Bradby Shield, up until about 15 to 20 minutes, Trinity were dominating. They were the more dominant side and they looked like they were just about to score. But Royal got that one penalty, and from then on, it was very structured play. Royal followed and made sure that they get the big win against the Trinidadians.
Yes, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Surajana, because that's been the trend of most of Royals games this year, especially their last 3 encounters. If you remember the game against Vidyartha, for the first 20 minutes, the score was 0-0. Then in Zahira, the score was 3-3 at half-time, and then in the second half, they've just taken it away. So Royal is very good at wearing down teams. Trinity need to keep that in mind, that they do control possession, because what these teams always do is they put in a massive defensive effort in that first half. It takes a lot out of them physically and emotionally, and Royal just have that ability to up the ante in the second half. So it's something which Trinity need to keep in mind. They've got to ensure that they do control possession and they try and accumulate as points as much as possible at the start of the game, rather than keeping it till too late.
Yes, very, very important analysis there, Abdullah. Like you said, it's important that Trinity College make sure that they put on a strong performance in the first quarter of the game. They did not get that memo at the first leg of 76 Bradby Shield, but second leg of the Bradby Shield seems like they had gotten that memo, and they came with a very, very good intent to make sure that they win the second leg. Maybe not the entire Bradby, they wanted to win the second leg, and it showed in how they took up that game.
Yeah, that's right. But at the same time, it's about, at the end of the day, it's about winning the Bradby, and this is the highlights of that second leg. So Royal probably just took their foot off the pedal also a little bit, because the Bradby pretty much was sealed by that point. So Trinity were pretty much playing for pride, and they definitely upped their game. What Trinity will want to do is to start this game off very well. They need to get into a lead, try to accumulate a bit of points, and just try and get a bit of front football as much as possible, because the Royal pack has been very dominant. The Trinity three-quarters, they do have the three-quarters to pose problems to this Royal defense, but for that to do, the forwards have got to give them some good quality ball up front.
Yes, very good thoughts, Abdullah. And Sanaka, you are a massive All Black fan, and taking last week's results into consideration, if Trinity can start like the All Blacks did against the Springboks, and even in this particular game, we are currently watching Trinity versus Royal, the second leg of the 76th Bradby Shield. There were a couple of those moments that went Trinity's way, where Lidmar Molagoda went and touchdown off that kick. They need some special moments to make sure that they hold on to that momentum.
They need a couple of brilliant individual performances as well, Sudarshana. And that's what Abdullah talked about just moments ago. What the All Blacks did against South Africa last week was that they scored a bunch of points early on in the game and completely blew South Africa off the park. And South Africa did what Abdullah said Royal do, and that's exactly wearing down, bringing their strong players off the bench, wearing down teams in the second half of the game. And if the All Blacks hadn't built up that cushion, they might have ended up losing that game. So that's the only opportunity that Trinity will have to try and really put some points on the board, just through a moment of individual brilliance or just a mistake, capitalizing on a mistake.
It was a clinical performance from the Trinidadian scrum half, who was absolutely mercurial in that game. Royal touching down here and making sure the Bradby is secured for them. But it was the heart of the Trinidadians that made sure that they win this second leg, but Royal, through Kavin Sasanga, were victorious. Absolute terrific stuff for Royal College, as they were victorious, dominant, and were celebrating here at Pallekelle.
Nevum bava rakadena kumarika hambit සංවේදී සමකට Cam Oil Big Shaving Foam අත්විඳිය හැකි වෙනසකට
cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වනවා අච්චි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the digital youth account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
Black? No problem. නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි. නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔබම වෙන්න.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
නැවුම් බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවීධී සමකට කැමෝයිල් බික් ෂේවිං ෆෝම් අත්විදිය හැකි වෙනසකට.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from Pallekelle Trinity College Rugby Stadium. If you're just joining us, a very warm welcome to the live telecast of the 77th Bradby Shield 2023 first leg. And although this game holds massive importance, it's also a league game of the Dialogue Schools Rugby League. Trinity College in third position may not have any aspirations of going to the second round, but Royal College, it's important that they try and secure maximum points from this game. At first place with 5 games played, but St. Peter's College have 2 games in hand. They need to make sure that they get the maximum points. Trinity College, of course, the maximum points that they can get from this game and the next game is 12 points. So they will stop at 24 even if they take maximum points. And they need to hope that St. Peter's lose to Science College this weekend and lose to Vidyartha next weekend as well. So that's going to be very, very interesting. That is how the points table of Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2023 stands at this moment at the end of week 5. Let's take a look at how Royal has fared so far this season. They played 5 games, started off against St. Peter's College, lost that game 5 points to 11. It was a disappointing loss for the Royalists who would have wanted a very good start to their season.
Yeah, that's right. It was pretty much a scrappy affair. It showed that it was the first game of the season, 2 quality sides, and since that game, both teams have improved leaps and bounds. Royal just not finding their groove, playing away from home as well, and St. Peter's, they just won those important moments in that game.
It was good that the Royalists travelled to Mount Lavinia next week because they had a confidence-boosting victory. 45 points to 10. Royal got their backs running. Royal got their forwards in motion as well. Their skipper touching down for a score as well. 45 points to 10 is how that one ended. And it was a dominant performance by Royal, and they will relish that performance because next 3, despite scoring heavy, Royal couldn't really get into that groove in the first half. Abdullah, even against Zaira, like you mentioned, first at the end of first half, it was 3-all. It only needed that one try from Zahira to really turn the game on its head.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what we were discussing earlier as well. Royal have pretty much upped the ante just in the second half, but they need to be a bit careful that they don't start slow in this game. They're playing in Pallekelle away from home. You don't want to give Trinity a resounding start, get their crowd behind the team as well. So it's important that they start off well. Also, just coming back, Sudarshan, as we have a look at the next game against Vidyartha, in this match, until the 20th minute, the score was 0-all as well. But Royal, throughout this season, an interesting point is they've just conceded 2 tries. So their defense has been exemplary. It's been very, very good. So Trinity need to keep in mind they're not going to get many freebies in this game. They will have to work hard. And that's where I think their forwards are going to be key in how they give good quality ball to their backs.
What's interesting is that Trinitians will take a lot of heart from this game where Dharmaraj, who defeated them, really pushed Royal. Despite Royal, like you said, winning this one 36 points to 18, but Dharmaraj's kicking game, when it was on point, it was troubling Royal. Trinity will be hoping that they can try and make sure they do the same thing. Make sure they have committed runners and their kicker can try and do very intelligent territorial work.
Especially the Royal back 3 have been found wanting on certain occasions when the ball has been kicked ahead, and they'll need to be much more careful when they're playing in Pallekelle as well. The ball does, having played here, the ball does tend to swirl a bit, so if you're not used to it, it can catch you a bit off guard. So I'm sure that's an area of the game where Trinity will look to exploit as well.
This is the Royal season so far. Shanaka Peters, that one loss, but since then Royal have been on the up as they traditionally are.
Well, the name of the game is pressure, isn't it, Sudarshan? And against that St. Peter's team, they knew that this was probably going to be their hardest game of the season, and it came up first up. And the Bradby is going to be just as much pressure. So it's very interesting to see how Royal College will respond to that pressure, because that is really the only factor that you have to consider, not the form lines or anything else. It's just about how things happen. Top try scorers for all: Kavinash Srikanth, Disas Pathirana and Charuka Senaviran.
Yes, 3 men who really touched down 4 times for Royal College. Disas Pathirana and Charuka Veeraratna are the 2 wingers. So that will really encourage Royal. The young 16-year-old halfback Simak Shafiq, the highest point scorer for Royal College. They keep producing those incredible kickers in their ranks, scoring 24 points. Royal looking good. We have to make sure that we try and take a look at Trinity College, how they are going to pan out. Trinity College started off with a disastrous start. First time in the history going down to Dharmaraj College. Trinity looked like a very unsettled outfit here at this game, the Shanaka.
Yes, it was probably first game blues, back after a long time, and maybe losing a few players due to the O-levels, A-levels, that kind of thing. And they just, again, didn't respond quickly enough. They didn't react quickly enough. And it's always a difficult thing in the first game to come up and play at the best of your ability. And that's not something that most teams can do. Even if you look at professional teams, as we see the winning try here, just came out of completely nothing for Dharmaraj. So Trinity shouldn't put too much stall in that. They shouldn't look back at this loss as something that is problematic for them. They did manage to come back and win comfortably against Vidyartha as well.
Well, comfortable in the scoreline, 20 points to 10, but the last 10 minutes of that game again were very nervy finishes for Trinity College, because Vidyartha ran in 2 tries and suddenly it was 20 points to 10. But against the Petrites, despite going down in this game, Trinity College looked like they were slowly but surely getting into the groove. They troubled St. Peter's College tactically and technically, and also when it comes to the territorial kicking, Trinity were on point. But St. Peter's, of course, one of the better teams in this league this year, managed to get the big W and making sure they're in contention for that all-important league title.
Yes, the kicking is an aspect of the game that most of these teams have struggled with in this 2023 Dialogue Rugby League season. But I noticed Fazil Marija is the head coach, and he wasn't a big kicker from fly half. But who they do have in their coaching camp who has come on board is Darindra Ratwata. And he'll be hoping to do a favor to his father, who is a chief guest today, who will definitely want to look over a win. But he's a guy who really managed that kicking game really well when he was playing for Trinity, for Sia and for Sri Lanka. So it'll be interesting to see how much work he has done with the 16-year-old Shan, who takes the reins at number 10 today.
Trinity College's last outing was against Science College here at Pallekelle just last week, so they will take a lot of confidence at the fact that they managed to score 55 points in that game, and the Trinity faithfuls will be looking forward to their team trying to replicate that form. Highest points beg your pardon, the season so far for Trinity College, Dharmaraj College 17 points and Trinity going down in this game 15 points to 17. Vidyartha College 10 points to 20 in favour of Trinity, and Trinity going down to St. Peter's as well, 10 points to 23. And in week 4, Trinity College got the all-important victory, 55 points to 10 against Science College, playing 4 and winning 2 and losing 2 games. The highest point scorer for Trinity College has been, try scorer rather, for Trinity College has been Sachit Duwanasekara, the winger, speedy winger who's touched down thrice, and Trinity will be hoping he can double the number here at Pallekelle and really fool his team up. The highest point scorer, yet again, a 16-year-old. It was a 16-year-old for Royalist and 16-year-old for Trinity College as well. Shan Altaf coming into that number 10 jersey, taking on a lot of responsibility and making sure that he scores those all-important points for Trinity. Shankar and Abdullah, both of you. Now, Bradby is a very important game. The prom and the pageantry around the grounds, and also there is a massive subculture which relates to the Bradby. One of those very interesting, important ones are the Bradby Express that travels from Colombo to Kandy for the Bradby, and they have a massive party on the way.
Yeah, that's right. A shout out to the group of 97 as well. Met up with them just before arriving at the grounds, and as expected, all in good spirits, high spirits. Just had to explain to them, tell the fact that that is actually a game today, and to make sure they make it to the grounds as well. But as you can see, yeah, it's a great event, isn't it? For both schools, it's the families as well. As you can see, it's a much looked forward to event, and let's hope the rugby lives up to it as well. And I'm sure both teams will want to put in a very good performance for the supporters of both teams, and let's just hope that rugby at the end of the day is the ultimate winner.
It is going to be a very interesting encounter, Abdullah. If anything, just being here over the last couple of hours and just watch the amount of work that has gone into preparing the stadium, preparing the pageantry around the game as well, making sure the crowds are organized properly, just the food stalls and all the kind of thing that Trinity College have really poured their heart into. It will be really interesting if their team can help them cap that effort off.
As we see the crowds building in, here are the officials onto the left of your screens, right on top of the Bradby Shield, where's the chief guest of the first leg. Mr. Ashan Ratwate, skipper of the 1983 Trinity side. A lot available as you enter the Pallekelle Rugby Stadium. And the crowds coming in, gathering here at Pallekelle, coming in their numbers to make sure that they witness what is going to be an incredible outing. A lot of the youngsters getting their face paint on, and the families making the trip from Colombo to the Hill Capital. Hill Capital will be alight, and I will be bugged for saying this, but it will be up till late tonight.
Well, that makes one of us, Sudarshan. I don't think Abdullah and I are going to be partying too hard tonight, regardless of who wins. But yes, it is obviously the main social event here in Kandy as well, and it's lovely to see the crowds have turned out. Of course, COVID was such a massive hit for everything, but in this encounter in particular as well, lots of people used to fly down for this from abroad, whether they were Royalists or Trinitians, and hopefully that habit will start picking up once again now that COVID has settled down. But of course, fuel prices, things like that may have deterred some people from coming up from Colombo. Normally the crowd is a little bit bigger, as you see our old friend SW Chang in the crowd as well, and these Trinity boys will be hoping really that they will be able to get a treat that many of them haven't seen in a long time, Sudarshana. So that's going to be an interesting one.
While the pomp, pageantry and the attractions are here, these are nostalgic pictures a lot of you from overseas would love to treasure. This is what these teams are playing for. This is the passion, the pride and the memories of their respective alma maters that they will want to play for. Abdullah, many memories must be flooding into your brain when you see these pictures.
Absolutely, and just seeing the boys just warm up before the Bradby, the pre-Bradby nerves, the anticipation, all those memories. This is our kindergarten area, this is the college hall. So, I mean, just wonderful memories of the school going days. And also, there was many videos circulated from Royal and Trinity as well. The reception, the present boys, the send-off rather for the teams. Absolutely brilliant. Just brings back all those wonderful memories. And let's just hope that both teams will put up a wonderful game today, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to see. Both teams will be both group of spectators rather will be rooting for their teams to come up victorious. But at the end of the day, you want to see a really good game of rugby, and I'm very sure that both these teams will deliver on that front.
Well, that grand old lady at Colombo 7 in Reed Avenue, looking ever so majestic. And then we have the school where the river, lake and mountain meet. The drive flagged by the Palms. Trinity College celebrated the 150th year celebrations in 2022. And a lot has gone into uplifting the facilities at college. The quadrangle, the paradise of the boarders who really rule proceedings here at the quadrangle, and the Gaster block, which was designed by Reverend Gaster, and one of the most iconic blocks, and of course the crown jewel of Trinity College, the Trinity College Chapel.
What a wonderful venue. Sudarshan, have been lucky enough to participate in a few services here, and it really is an experience like no other in a Christian church. But two wonderful schools, I have to say. I've spent a lot of time in both of them, being from a common rival school at St. Thomas's, and I spent more time in Royal than I have at Trinity, but it is a place that holds fond memories even for me, and it's wonderful to see that the schools being showcased, such amazing architecture and such schools of heritage and just colonial culture that we have bred into our school system here in Sri Lanka, and hopefully we can make that our own and move that forward, because rugby itself is something that was handed down to us, and now it has very much become our own.
Well, as the things are hotting up, what we'll do now is we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will be ever so close to the all-important kickoff of the 77th Bradby Shield first leg.
කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න. Aloe vera and mint for freshness. Chamomile for sensitive skin. Lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam. A change you must experience.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. VKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Your embrace so warm with one more bite of Revelo for sunshine. Don't wanna miss this pouring rain, pleasing my soul with one more bite of Revelo for the rain. This freedom takes me roads that I have never been. With one more bite of Revelo for the road. Love never felt this good. With one more bite of Revelo for love.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Welcome back to the live action as the two teams made their way into the ground. Just seconds ago, both these teams wanted to make sure that they are with an advantage going into that all-important second round. Trinity College being an Anglican institution, getting the chaplain of Trinity College to lead proceedings with a prayer. The two teams eager to get the proceedings done with, to make sure that they are prim and proper and ready to go when the referee blows the whistle. Royal College, of course, will be the favourites coming into this game, especially given the form that they have showcased. But Trinity College will want to make sure that they capitalise. Here's the Royal College school anthem.
of books and learns of men. Through thee will do the same. True to our watchword, Tisque out, Tisque day. We will learn of books and men and learn to play the game.
Royal College with their school anthem. Now, the whole team, Trinity College.
It's good to see the school we knew, the land of youth and dream. To greet again the rule we knew before we took the stream. No long we missed the sight of her, our hearts will not forget. We've lost the old delight of her, we keep her honor yet. We will honor yet the school we knew, the best school of all. We will honor yet the rule we knew, till the last bell calls. For working days or holidays, and glad or melancholy days, there were great days and jolly days at the best school of all.
The rousing rendition of the best school of all by the horse team. And Trinity College and Royal College will be wanting to make sure that they take that spirit, take that fighting spirit to the all-important kick-off. Chief guest being introduced to the players. Ashan Ratwate, no stranger to Dushant Leuke, both of them members of the same club up in Colombo. Ashan Ratwate, incidentally, like Shanika mentioned, the father of Tarinder Ratwate, who holds the recognition as the last Bradby winning Trinity skipper. I think both Ashan Ratwate and Tarinder Ratwate will want to let go of that as soon as they possibly can, as Randall Senanaika, the Royal skipper, introduces his team to the distinguished guest. The match officials, as Atta Bansal will now introduce his charges to the chief guest. Trinity, coached by Faisal Marija for the first time in a Bradby. Talagampala assisting him with the forwards. Now let's look at who the Warriors are, who will represent the both teams. Kavina Srikrant, Afif Akram, Tinet Gamage, unchanged first row for Royal College to start off with the two lanky locks. Yahan Veerasuri and Bhuvanika Senanaika can play another year as well. Will be very, very interesting to see how these boys pan out in today's game. The third row, Tanvir Hassan will lead from the front, with Yodhe Atugala being one of those key players for Royal College in that defensive effort, and Ayush Shyam wearing the number 6 jersey. Halfback is going to be Simak Shafik, playing his first game. I think his age needs to be corrected as 16, with Tivate Pereira, number 10, who will have a lot of responsibility in making sure that they get their tactical kicking right. The centre combination, Randall Senanaika, the skipper, who played number 8 last year though, moving out to number 12 this year and developing a very good knack for carrying the ball. Dulce Gamanaika played in the wing knows his way to the try line and has been a very difficult number 13 to mark. The back three for Royal College, no Nabil Yahya, as Filio Kalanaratne goes to full-back position with the two highest point scorers who have 4 tries each. Disas Patirina and Charuka Senuratne in left and right wing respectively. Let's take a look at how the home team will line up for this game. Tenuk Fernando is going to be absolutely important for Trinity's chances of trying to dominate. Dehan Watagoda, the hooker, Senula Alexander, the other prop forward. This is a hard working first row. The second row for Trinity will consist of Venuka Kumarage and Ravi Nilangaratna, who are fairly new to the lineup as well. The third row for Trinity, one notable change there. Disanga Disanayaka, after that brilliant performance against Science College, moving to that number 8 jersey, with Chamindu Dhanapala, the deputy skipper, moving to the number 7 jersey. Harit Samurira gets a start at flanker in the number 6 jersey. The halfback combination, Rushen Bandaranaika alongside the young Sean Altaf, the 16-year-old Altaf, will be looking to make this game their own. The center combination, Anuhas Kodituakku and Lakidu Herat, making up the 12-13 combination. Kodituakku is going to be a crucial aspect of the game as well. The last three, the back three for Trinity College, Satiju Vanasekara, Atab Mansil and Abid Jamil. Mansil has to really step up this game and make sure that Trinity dominates in this game. Let's take a look at the replacements for both teams who will complete the match day 23 for both the teams. Aryavan Sakaravita, Samarakon, Kumar Singh, Basnaika, Faisal, Safras and Dehigam making up the Trinity bench, and Royal College consisting of Nakib Mohammed, Ajmal, Samarakon, Vijayvardhana, Fernando, Samar Singh, Nabil Yahya and Didula Jayasuriya. Today's game will be officiated by Ishanka Abegon, who kicks off proceedings, and we are on in this first leg of the 76th Bradby Shield 2023.
Manzil sending it down into the 22 as Shafiq waits. And Thiven Pereira will put the first kick up. He can't kick it out because it was carried back, of course. And the Trinity back three waits with Sean Altaf getting his first touch of the boot as well as the hand. And he will take a lot of confidence from that. Read the wind beautifully and bounce that into touch just outside the 22, so it doesn't become a 50-22, but it'll still get an attacking line out.
Very encouraging for Sean Altaf, who would want to try and avoid that 40 meters. Showcases very good composure for a 16-year-old, especially playing his first Bradby. Altaf.
So Royal won the toss and elected to play into the wind in the first half. So they're going from left to right with the wind coming from the top of your screen on the right-hand side down to the bottom left-hand corner, as we see Tanvir Hussain carrying that up forward strongly. Royal's ball carriers are very well conditioned. And another kick which stays infield. Here's the captain, Manzil. They need a scrum half and eventually get a penalty.
Yes, the referee very clearly saying to release the ball. I don't think there was any release once the tackle was made. So Royal eager to make a statement at the breakdown, but being penalized on that occasion. They just need to be a little bit careful, isn't it, in that area. They're very strong generally, but you just don't want to give penalties so earlier on in the game to the opposition.
So this is going to be a very important kick for Trinity College. Anuhas Kodituakku will... interesting. Sean Altaf has given the confidence to his skipper that he wants to go for points. Here's how the penalty was awarded. Atab Mansil going into contact, and the support had arrived. There was a ruck formed and there was no opportunity for the jackler to poach on that ball. Trinity straight away getting to the opposition half. There is a strong wind going across the ground. Shanaga, it's going to be very interesting what Sean Altaf can do, and if he can nail this one, Royal will be on pins. They will know inside the 50 it's dangerous giving Trinity penalties.
Well, the wind is ideal for this kick, which is probably why they've chosen to take it, because it's coming directly over Altaf's right shoulder, and going towards the uprights. It's a ground he'll know well, of course. But for a youngster who's been encouraged by the referee to take it quickly, this is going to be a massive kick if he gets it. And it's just short of the right hand upright, but still a decent strike. A good confidence booster for Altaf.
A definite confidence booster for Altaf, and also will we should notice too the Royal defensive effort as well. They will have to be careful and disciplined around the fringes to make sure that they don't infringe inside their own half. Trinity making their intentions and sending out that message early.
Well, that drop kick doesn't go very far. Goes straight into the hands of Watagoda. Big bust up from Alexander. And here it is from Altaf again. Nice hands from Trinity, but Royals defense comes up fiercely fast. Lovely tackle once again. Outstanding work that time from Akram Farooq. And driven back is Tivanka Fernando. But it's available for Shafiq. They've got numbers on the outside, but Royal come up quickly, and another driving tackle by Lakindu Herat it was. Sorry, it was Gamanayaka who made the tackle. But Trinity still have it. Coming back into the field of play, setting it up for the forwards. Shan Altaf. It's not a great pass, but maybe something will come of this. Fortunately, the only thing that comes of it is a knock forward, just not able to control that ball. Anuhas Kodituakku, and we'll have the first scrum of the game with Royals tight 5 having at least about a 40-kilo dominance over this Trinity tight 5.
Yes, and it just showed in that passage of play, wasn't it? Trinity started their attack in the 22 and they've ended up on the halfway mark. So a fantastic defensive effort by Royal. They just continuously push teams behind the gain line, and it's something which Trinity need to keep in mind. When they do attack, they have to ensure that they do try and get over the gain line as much as possible.
Couple of massive defensive tackles from Royal College, putting Trinity on the back foot.
It's Gamanayaka who made the telling blow when Trinity looked like they had a few numbers, and now looks like Randul Senanayaka will carry it up strongly. The skipper always likes to feel the first shoulder. Shafiq, and now they come back inside to the big forwards. Shafiq looks like he's setting up for a box kick. It'll hold up in the breeze and make it difficult. But beautifully won that time by the Royal Chase. It was Seniviratna who went up and took that contestable kick. Little bit of handbags, just a bit of adrenaline being released. Nothing in it, of course. Referee Shankar Bekun. There will be a penalty. We'll find out for what. For Royal, for slapping down, a deliberate knock-on.
Here's an opportunity for Royal College. For all the possession Trinity had, they have only 3 points to show. But Royal now, through a penalty, they have comes inside the 22 meters.
So a lovely contestable kick from Shafiq, taken beautifully by Seniviratna.
7 meters.
So a couple of penalties there probably. Well won in the line out by Senanayaka. Big lads, both 6'4" in the second row for Royal. And a wonderful defensive performance from Trinity. No doubt Buddhika Talagampala and Lasita Attanagoda will be very happy with that performance.
Oh, absolutely. I think Trinitians will take a lot of heart, especially the Trinity forwards will take a lot of heart with that defensive performance. Everybody knows Royal College one of their most lethal weapons are their lineout. If you're going to put doubt in them about their lineouts, that will play into your hands. But Trinity now need to make sure that their exit strategy from their red zone is well and true and good, because Altaf will face a lot of pressure from the Royal third row.
Bandaranaike to feed the scrum under pressure. But good go forward from the Trinity the forwards as well. Charge down, but just too much on the ball. Really good pressure that time coming from Dulja Gamanaika. Proved to be a real defensive handful, Gamanaika, in these opening minutes of the game. Really pressurizing Trinity.
Get behind.
Anuas Kudutuaku will be sucking in those long breaths as Atab Mansil restarts from the 22.
Taken by Kalyana Ratna at the back. Here's a little bit of space now opening up for Tiven Pereira.
No! Follow me!
Shafiq. Runners running a good angle that time. Referee Shankar Bekun is playing under advantage for Royal. Here's the big second row. Buaneka Senanaika. Still available for Royal. Trinity's defense is up quickly, but there's no advantage coming. So Trinity will get, Royal will get the penalty rather for not rolling away in the tackle.
So Royal adamant on playing this physical game earlier on. We were talking pre-game as well, how they're going to try and take it to Trinity physically. Just try and make them make as many tackles as possible. Just try and wear them down. Trinity in those first few minutes, Sudarshan, isn't it? They had some opportunities of getting some points on the board, but some terrific defense by Royal, just pushing them back, and now they've pinned Trinity in their 22 over the last few minutes. So Trinity just need to keep in mind that not just position, but territorially, they need to be a bit more smart on how they're going to play this game.
Yes, Royal have managed to get their second line out in a similar position on the other side of the field. Will the Trinitians be lucky back-to-back, or will Royals be able to try and get their maul rolling?
Veera Surya wins it at the front this time. And again, it's good defense taking them into the tram lines, but Royal have got the march on. It's secure at the back. Goes down, but it's all good, says referee Abekun, as Royal march it forward now. The pick and drive is a very effective weapon for Royal.
They're very disciplined around the fringes, Royal forwards. With their ball discipline, they know exactly what to do. They can wait it out. If you want them to wait 20 minutes, they'll wait it out. But Trinity need to make sure that they try and put pressure on this Royalist.
Well, I love what I saw there. Shan Altaf, the little 16-year-old, smallest man on the pitch, got in there and did a job. But the big Tusker forwards have it once again, and here they go. Trinity will be hoping to hold them up over the line, but Royal, with their body positions, going left, then going right, and now they've got space on the outside. Lovely pass off, and Kalyana Ratna will score.
Filio Kalyana Ratna, the man touching down in the far wing, made it look so very easy. The fullback, the touchdown for Royal College, getting the first score and making sure that they got points for all their trouble. Absolutely brilliant stuff from the forwards to keep hold of the ball, and Filio Kalyana Ratna with that overlap was going to score any day of the week.
So also it was great communication between the halves as well, isn't it, Sudarshan? You saw that Trinity intent on defending the fringes, but they just didn't realize that their Royal had the option, or didn't think that Royal would take the option out wide. And Tiven Pereira just communicating beautifully with his fly half to use the short side to get the first points on the board. So Royal will be pretty happy with this start, because not only have they got 5 points on the board, they have made Trinity make a lot of tackles in this first 10 minutes.
They've made Trinity work really hard for no points, but it has to be said that Royal have also had to work pretty hard to get there, and they had to execute very well. Nice hands from Randul Senanaika, the captain, making sure that he sent them overlap man over. Kalyana Ratna taking an easy try, and Shafiq just into the wind. Sudarshan, that's going to take a bit of kicking.
Yes, it will take a little bit of getting used to, but Kalanaratne have been very decent touching that one down. No Super Rugby stuff or NRL stuff there as Albert Munson kickstarts the proceedings. A long, nice, deep kick.
Back into Gamage. Royal now attacking from their 22, trying to create a little bit of angle. Ball was still outside, says the referee. And Shan Altaf juggles but collects. A gasp goes up from the Pallekelle crowd, but Altaf isn't worried by it.
A little bit of a brain fade that time by Bandaranaike. Quickly taken now from Royal College, who are showing some urgency. They've gotten points. They want to try and capitalize on the advantage.
The Royal look like they don't want to be known as one-dimensional, so they're going quickly and opting to run it.
Tackle, release! Last foot.
It's available now for Shafiq as things calm down a little bit. And the forwards will get another opportunity. Was
Ball is available.
Srikanth who took that ball in, but flying up in defense was Abid Jamil. Really good defense by the winger on the prop forward. Manzil has stayed back and does well with the juggle. And there's no fullback, and well spotted by Shan Altaf. And unfortunately for Trinity College and their supporters who had their hearts in their mouths for a while, Sajidu Vanasekara was unable to get to the ball.
That's good vision by young Shan as well, isn't it? He saw a bit of space out wide, had the option of passing it, but saw the space out wide and used the boot. So good vision. Now they have pumped Royal just outside their 22. Just need to spend a bit of time in Royal's half. Royal is what Trinity need to do.
Yes, territorial kicking is going to be absolutely crucial for Trinity College. Like Abdullah mentioned, to try and use that territorial advantage, try and play rugby as much as they possibly can in the opposition 50. As Royal opt to go to number 6, a very surprising move, Shanaga, given the fact that when they decided to go to number 4 pod, they've hit it very consistently.
Yes, Bhuvanaka Saranayaka going up, but well overthrown. And a surprising tactic from Royal, instead of playing it safe inside their 22. Altaf, who has been in the game quite a bit early on. Lovely little flat ball there. Vanasekara now. One of the most dangerous runners on the park. Vanasekara needs some support. Doesn't get it in the end. But Trinity College now with their tails up inside the 22. Lovely short ball that time. It's available now for Trinity with a little bit of an overlap. Coming back into the field of play. Nice hands from the prop forwards. As I say that, they knock the ball on. Alexander does really well, but unfortunately leaves the ball behind. Advantage over, says the referee.
Very encouraging passage of play for Trinity College, but unfortunately for Trinity, those final passes not sticking. Good work by the forwards. Tenuk Fernando straightening up, going into contact, and then offloading to Alexander, who got away from 2 men, but those tackles, big tackles coming in from the Royal defense and putting Trinitians under a lot of pressure. It'll be interesting stat to see how many tackles have been made by the both teams, and Royal making sure that tough tackles that they make are being felt by the Trinitians.
It's like they're going to the back, and nicely won by Trinity. That will give them some confidence in their line out as well.
Advantage. 10 meters.
Playing under advantage is Royal. Is Trinity rather. And Filio Kalyanaratne allows that to run behind him and over the goal line. He's lucky with the bounce, the try scorer. But Shan Altaf again showing a good head on very young shoulders.
Referee Shankar bringing play back for the initial advantage that he awarded. Royal College not being 10 meters. Now, interesting call to be made. Does Trinity go 4 points or do they ride on the momentum? Ideally, with the wind, they should go for points because currently the wind is coming from the back of the Trinitians, and they do just that. They go for points, and a very wise call.
Well, they've been listening to the commentary, Sudarshana, and it's going to be a much easier kick than the first one. Here's the initial break from Vanasekara. Does really well. In fact, it's Manzil. No, it is Vanasekara. Does really well to make that ball available, but fortunately just couldn't get the pass away.
But how about the defensive performance by Filio Kalanaratne? He was unmoved. He knew exactly where he wanted his man as Sean Altaf lines it up. Delivered a complete performance against Science College. And this time around, slightly away from the right upright. None out of two. One conversion would do a world of good to this young lad's confidence.
But he is striking the ball well, Sudarshan. I think that's something will just work in his favor as this game goes on. It's not that he's in two minds or he's just not striking. He's just unable to get his radar correct. I'm sure get few more opportunities. But yes, Trinity will definitely need to look to get some points on the board as soon as possible.
Well, you can see that confidence doesn't help, and it's interesting that all the Trinitians going to support the youngster. The Royal forwards also need to know a little better than to go after the smallest man on the pitch. It's just a rush of blood threw the ball away. He's lucky not to get a penalty there against him. But I just like to see his standing foot, Abdullah, when he kicks. Seems like there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. He's still a young lad, so that technique will improve, certainly.
Set! Steady! Say, Bob!
Trinity have really held their own in the scrums. Still early doors though, and Senanayaka coming through on that crash ball line, leaves the ball behind. So handling errors plaguing not just these two teams, but a lot of teams this season, Sudarshana.
Oh, absolutely, Shanak, and also I think Royal just butchered this move here. Senanayaka almost crashed into Pereira that time, didn't get their timing right. Maybe the call wasn't communicated around properly. Trinity with the centre field scrum. Interesting aspect here because in Trinity's back line you have Anuas Koditoakwa and also Sean Altaf, who can really clear their ranks. And Sean Altaf might look for a 50-22 here.
I'd like to see Disanayaka go off the back. It's exactly what he does. Nice 8-9 move, but ball doesn't go to hand, so one knock on followed by another.
No advantage.
And this is something, Abdullah, which I've been seeing with a lot of the teams recently. This inability to hold the ball in fairly innocuous circumstances. This is unacceptable for me.
And it's also the running lines. If you have a look at this, you can see the Trinity scrum half running very lateral, isn't it? It's very hard for the passer to get the ball in front of the player when he doesn't know the exact line he's running. So it's just those little nuances that they've got to get right, especially when you're doing it in high pressure situations. The chances of making errors is much greater.
This doesn't help the fact that it's Trinity number 8, second game playing at number 8. Trinity putting pressure on Royal College in that scrum.
Thumping kick by Tiven Pereira. Again, it's going to hold up in the breeze. And nobody wants it, so they let it bounce. And they'll play the advantage.
Oh no, you lost the ball.
Here's Bandaranayaka. Trinity's front row forwards have been
No advantage.
very keen to run with the ball.
So we just seen over the last 3 or 4 minutes, a couple of unforced errors from both teams, handling errors coming into play. Bit surprising because we're well into this half, so it's probably say that nerves have settled down, but both teams will need to try and tighten up from here on.
Nerves have settled down, Abdullah, but I think fatigue might be setting in because it has been a very physical encounter in the last 20 minutes. It's high pressure. Both teams are defensively very good. Even Trinity are running up making sure they're making their first up tackles.
Set. Steady.
But Lakindu Herath has been very good in that department as well, the outside centre, as has Gamanayaka. That's better from Disanayaka and Bandaranayaka this time. Wanasekara gets a high hit, but it was just below shoulder level. Quick ball available for Trinity now. Altaf.
Backwards.
That ball is well behind his intended recipient. Was kicked forward by Tiven Pereira. Does he have the control to go under the posts? In the end, it's the Manzil who comes to the defense of his team. And straight over the top go the arriving Royal players, just not having enough control to stay on their feet. And Manzil puts his body on the line for his team.
Yeah, Manzil had to put his body on the line because it was his mistake that created that opportunity for Royal College. Had overshot that pass a little bit. And Tiven Pereira pouncing on that. And one more touch of that ball would have really put Royal in a very comfortable setting. And now Trinity
Number 7. Charge karati.
making use of that penalty, getting out of jail, and referee having a chat with Jovindu Athugala that he needs to be careful when charging the man. Again, Tiven Pereira. It's going to be one of those very important clogs in the Royals' wheel.
It's interesting, isn't it, Abdullah, from the time where maybe you were playing at this level. We used to come back to that in a bit as the ball is stolen off the top by Senanayaka. Lovely steal from the middle of the line out from the big second row, the 6'4" second rower. Taken in the air, Shan Altaf. And I think we might be seeing a little bit of a chat.
Shan Altaf wanted to take it quickly, but I think referee had the assistant referee had spotted something. It really did look like Altaf was taken off air.
Get the captain. Play in there. Play in there, but don't get a penalty only. Next time, be careful. Good message. Captain. Wala na penalty gatti no. Metan penalty no. Eka safety uni. Eka nisa metan penalty ka mami no.
So referee Shankar Bekun saying penalty only. Be interesting to see that one again. It didn't look too dangerous because Altaf did fall on his back, I think, but not sure that is a factor in the mitigation from a red card to a yellow card to just a penalty only.
Yeah, number 10.
Those are the three stages of mitigation. Starting at a red card, if a player is taken out in the air.
Captain.
Here's how it happened. But luckily for the Royalists who came in just as he got his hand contact on the Trinity ball receiver, that Shan Altaf got his foot on the ground. There was 1 foot on the ground, which is why it's only a penalty. Trinity now going to the second pod. Lost it forward. Second time they haven't been able to get that line out try. And Royal do have a very good jump on that second pod. So they need to try and get away from that. Try and attack number 2 and get secure ball.
They need to try and vary their line out as well. Maybe looking at cutting the line out to 4 man just to disrupt that flow. Royal seem very comfortable when they have a full complement of line outs.
NTB win percentage currently 47. Chance to Trinitians, the horse, with Royal College bossing it currently with a 5 points to 0 lead.
So last 5 minutes of the half, little bit less perhaps, as Kalyanaratne gets the ball away to his winger, and now a little bit of space opening up for Royal. Altaf misses the tackle, but Trinity scramble back well.
No.
Royal now with their tails up, trying to finish the half strongly. Here's the man who started it all off.
No hands!
Randul Senanayaka. The referee did say no hands. He said it very clearly. Doesn't matter if you agree with him, you've got to let go.
Oh, absolutely. I think the message was clear. Trinity did absolutely well, scrambling defense, but need to make sure that that discipline, when it comes to being around the fringes, is on point. Because if you give away penalties in your own 50 to Royal College, they will go to touch, they will maul you the entire day. And the Royal Maul has already gotten them a 5-point lead, and it's going to be very tiresome for Trinity College to suck in those important tackles.
Change kara Nico.
I think there's been a concussion here.
Notta.
Here it is. Maybe not just there, but Wanasekara looks like he might be the man coming out. Lovely run that time by Gamanayaka. And that is poor Wanasekara who will be taken off.
Boys, hurry up.
Doesn't look too good at all. And Trinity's main attacking threat goes to the bench, which is a big blow for them just before half time. And Royal have another great attacking platform now in the form of a line out, 8 meters out from that opposition try line. Nicely won at the front by Veera Surya. The other 6'4" lock forward in this Royal pack.
Once.
Holding on. We get to the 5-meter line and make it available now, and Royal will batter away at this Trinity try line. The forwards need to fold around and help. Nice quick ball.
No.
Now to the skipper. Can he power his way over the number 8?
Last foot.
Shafiq leaves it to his forwards.
No hands, release now. Back.
Trinity need to desperately defend for the rest of the half if they want to go in with just a 1 score between the teams. Shafiq again. And looks like they might have gotten over. Yes, they have. The despairing dive of the Trinity defenders was not enough to prevent Bhuvaneka Senanayaka from diving over for that try. It was coming, the dam had cracked, and eventually it broke.
Incredible work by Royal College, especially their forward unit, keeping it very close, keeping it disciplined. Trinity put in a hardy effort, but that angle by Bhuvaneka Senanayaka proving it a little too difficult. Longer limbs and making sure he gets 5 points for Royal. 10 points to 0. Royal College looking good.
Ironic that the man with the most Candian name in that Royal College lineup ends up scoring against the home team. But I walked past him in the tunnel, Sudarshana, and he's a big lad. For an 18-year-old, he's really got plenty of potential. If he's looked after and nurtured with, I'm sure he will be.
Time round Soundtown, the conversion for Shafiq unfortunately had the strong wind dislodge dislodge the ball from the kicking tee. Another look at Senanayaka's score. Very good body positioning, isn't it? Chanaka, he knew exactly where he wanted to go, and that center of gravity making sure that he touched down.
A little bit of a lack of awareness also from the Trinity College defense, I thought, Sudarshana. With the new rule, you've just got to try to get your body under the ball carrier, and that's something you've got to practice now. As Senanayaka used his height to good advantage, managed to get over the defenders, leg drive, and pump his way over the line. Really good technique from these Royal forwards close in. They're impeccable, really.
Right. Time off. 5 minutes. Next time.
So a bit of a confusion about the numbers in the line-out. They had 5 men and 1 left. They've called him back now, so that Trinity are evenly matched up. Bandaranayake haranguing the hooker, and his haranguing of the hooker works out well for Trinity because he throws it crooked.
Yes, I'm not sure they need to go to number 6. It's very windy here, isn't it? The number 2, number 4 seem to be working well for them, and they were in their own half as well, so not quite sure that was the correct call.
Especially given the fact that they had called for a 5-man line-out. Only 4 had turned out. So chances of the last man who joined the line-out knowing exactly what they wanted to do were mere, as we take a look at the fans who made the trip from Colombo. Opportunity for Trinity.
Bandaranayake to Altaf, Kodituakku. Replacement winger for Trinity gets his first touch. It's not probably the way he wanted to get onto the pitch in place of their speedster. And here's straight through the middle goes Tiven Fernando, but it looks like the referee has spotted something.
Oh, wait.
I think it's Tiven Pereira who's on the ground. Referee deciding that he can't get back onto his feet so very quickly. Referee Alexander taking a look at that. It's recognize and remove the protocol that is to be followed in amateur rugby. It's not head injury assessment anymore. It's only reserved for the elite game. So if a player or an official or the referee spots a player,
I think it might have been some friendly fire there actually. Tiven Pereira would have made contact with the hip of his player coming forward to make the tackle. So referee Ishan Kabekun insistent that the player should be taken out. Tiven Pereira of course doesn't want to go anywhere, but ultimately Abekun's word is the law. He'll be able to come back of course.
Time on.
Goal 3-in-1. The cool blast hair and body wash side, your companion for all these sportsmen. And if you are on the go, 3-in-1 fits in your bag and is an ideal accompaniment as Trinity College will want to try and make sure that they cut the deficit to at least half, getting a scrum right on the 22-meter mark of the opposition. As we look at this beautiful lush surroundings of the Trinity College Rugby Stadium.
Well, it's a very pretty ground, isn't it, Sudarshana? Not sure the access roads are as pretty, but the drone shots certainly are. And that's where the incident happened. Tiven went in and I think hit the hip of his own player. Bandaranayake to Altaf, coming in on the blind side. This time Altaf is dragged down but manages to get the ball away to his captain. Here's Jamil. Jamil really needed to stay in play there. Needed to step in off his left foot and managed to set up another phase, but allows himself to be thrown out, and I think that's exactly what his captain would have told him.
Royal College now with a defensive line out. First time they have a defensive line out in their own half.
Put that down to the good work of Yavindu Atugala, really flying up off the line, the flank forward, and doing the traditional role that flankers are expected to do, and really snuffing out that attack before it could really do some damage to Royal. Royal have learned their lesson, go to number 2. And that again holds up in there, Shan Altaf. I have to admit, his 16-year-old experience means that he's not
You can't
afraid.
punch the ball.
But wonderful pressure by the Royal players entering that ruck, isn't it? They identified that Trinity was short on numbers, flooded the breakdown, put enormous pressure, forcing Trinity to use hands in the ruck. So brilliant work. It was not probably the best of clearance by Nabil Yahya, who has come on for Steven Pereira. But nonetheless, the chase more than made up for that.
Well, your kick is only as good as your chase, isn't it, Abdullah? And it fell to the least experienced man on the park, smallest man on the park as well. And Royal, like the predators they are, they smelt the blood
Last
and
play.
just went for it.
Last play.
Last play of the half. Nabil Yahya will be happy that he's gotten a few seconds. Here he is. I don't think it was the best move for Altaf to go outside the attackers, as the Royal forwards had all lined up for that scrum and have been put on side. And they had to use their hands, which is illegal, of course.
Play on.
It's knocked
Ball away.
backwards. Shafiq. Good tackle that time, made by the Trinity second row. Here's the other second row forward, Veera Surya. He'd want to get on the board as well. Lovely little dummy from Shafiq, manages to find Kalyana Ratna, who was in support. And he's back on his feet as the link man.
Ball away.
Quick ball for Royal, but it's a little bit static as it gets to Randul Senanaik, and now the ball, it opens up a little bit, but again superb defense from Abid Jamil, and now they do the counter ruck of their own.
Denuk Fernando in no uncertain terms telling Ashan Altaf, calm down mate, let's build on this one. And good defensive work there. Denuk Fernando was patient, he got the man down, he waited for his support to come, and when the ruck was formed, Trinity put in pressure on the ruck and not just throwing their hands in the ruck. Anwas Koditoku with the clearance and gets good yardage just outside the 22 meters of Royal College. So it'll be interesting what Trinity can do from here. Referee has already called last play, Shanaka. So going into halftime with any score for Trinity will be a bonus. Royal will want to defend this one, just like they've done the first 30 minutes.
Good defensive work there from Trinity, winning that penalty, and now they have to see whether they can allow the attacking work to help. Doesn't matter, as the towering figure of Senanaika goes up and steals the ball out of the breadbasket of the Trinity jumper once again. Now this is charged down. Yahya is the man who has the ball on the floor.
Play on.
Just couldn't pick it up.
No hands. No hands.
The Trinity
Stay
player
back, stay
flying
back,
in
stay
there.
back. No.
It's untidy ball, and Royal will want to just thump this one into touch. And the penalty is coming. You can see what that means to the Trinitians.
Get back. Get back.
If I were them, take the tap and run, mate.
Dilemma. Yes, they will go for 3. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant call by the Trinity skipper to go for 3. Points are going to be very important. 3 points to 10 reads much, much better than 10 points to 0.
Absolutely. Brilliant call by Trinity, but not so brilliant by Royal. The referee had very clearly said it was the last play of that half. They were under a lot of pressure. All they needed to do is just put the ball out in touch, but just a little lack of communication, trying to play too much rugby in their own half, and they paid the price for it.
Srikanth was never going to put that ball to his boot. He wouldn't have gone back into the shed at half-time if he had. But he really needed some leadership from behind, and this is where Shafiq should probably have stepped up and even kicked that ball over the try line to get away. And is it going to be third time lucky for the youngster Shan Altaf, who really has outdone himself in terms of bravery and courage? Can he make that into a technical expertise as well? Unfortunately, it's not third time lucky And this is why I didn't agree with you, gentlemen, that it was the right call to take. I thought tap and run at the end of the half was probably what that moment called for, especially the way the previous 29 minutes had gone. But it is a 10-point gap.
Oh well, seems like Sean Altaf has left his boots in Kandy, and if he can get some shuttle runner to quickly hurry back and bring them back for this second half, it will be very, very important for Trinity College. 3 attempts, none successful for Sean Altaf in this first half. He will want to make sure that he gets his kicking boots back in the second. Halftime confirmation, 10 points to nil. Royal College dictating terms in this first half of the first leg of 76th Bradby Shield 2023. And if you are watching this game, enjoying this game at home, I'm sure the bite that bites back, Kiel's Crest Naimeris is going to be an ideal companion for all of you who are going to be in very high spirits after this incredible Bradby Shield encounter. And let's try and take a look at the special moments of the first half where we can, as we will see how Royal College gathered up those important 10 points. Forwards doing all the hard work. Filio Kalyanaratne touching down in the corner. Trinity were threatening, but it was Royal's defensive effort that really put them in a pedestal.
Nice tackle that time on Manasekara by Kalyanaratne, so doing the work on the attacking and defensive ends of the field. And this is a try that really broke the back of the Trinity resistance. Bhuvanaka Senanayaka using his physical superiority to get over. And it's just down to that youthful exuberance, isn't it, Abdullah? He missed one to the right, then tried to overcompensate with and missed one to the left. And let's see what he can do in the second half. Can he get them down the middle as we come back on the papare.com, wherever you're watching in the world after the break.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. We KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ Dandex Active Climbasol පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම Dandex නම් හැමදාම no problem. Dandex හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Manicure hot and spicy, trending fashion around navy. Rasa baby, Papare beat ke Saturday ko tumhe pandavi. Neta baby, Saturday kapuna, rasa diva fire na. Saradavi adanari ko tumi pantama, fun update bena, hot cup pe kakmana. Saradavi adanari ko tumi pantama, prima ko tumi pantamai.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න, ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
With one more bite of Revelo for sunshine.
හැමදාම Dandex නම් හැමදාම no problem. Dandex හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට. beautiful outside and inside.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
VKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. Bold ඔපම වෙන්න.
Manicure hot and spicy. Cheering skirt than navy. Saturday baby. Cup ate. Match එක fun කරලා මගාවි. Saturday baby. හිත තාල නැත වෙනා. Fun නිනිම වින්නුනා. සරදාවි අතනාරි කොතුමි පන්දමා. Fun papare play වෙනා. Set එක connect වුණා. සරදාවි අතනාරි කොතුමි පන්දමා. Prima කොතුමි fun තමයි.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. Bold ඔපම වෙන්න.
Cheese රසට යාළුවෝ සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
Beautiful outside and inside. හැමදාම Dandex නම් හැමදාම no problem. Dandex හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Cheese රසට යාළුවෝ සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ Dandex Active Climbasol පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම Dandex නම් හැමදාම no problem. Dandex හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට. Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Aloe vera and mint for freshness. Chamomile for sensitive skin. Lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience. Aloe vera and mint for freshness. Chamomile for sensitive skin. Lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience. Nerum bava rakadena kumarika mint සංවේදී සමකට Camo oil. Big shaving foam අත්විඳිය හැකි වෙනසකට.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from Trinity College Rugby Stadium here at Pallekelle. The first half was absolutely intense. During the lemons, the crowd who are gathered here were treated to a lovely display of drum and dance by the Trinity College National Drum and Dance Troupe as we await the two teams and the referees to make their way into the field for this second 35 minutes, second half of the first leg of the 77th Bradby Shield 2023.
It's going to be a very, very interesting next 35 minutes, Sudarshana, because both sets of coaches would have seen what unfolded in the initial half, and they'll have plenty of feedback for their team. And I think Trinity, in their home grounds, with all this atmosphere, with all this fanfare, they will find it in themselves to dig deep and try and come back into the game. They have to score points though. We talked about it earlier, how Royal love to shut teams out, and that's exactly what they've done in the first half to Trinity. And it just needs one little moment of magic for Trinity to break through. I think they need to kick a little bit more. I think they need to chase a little bit better. Let's see how that works out, Abdullah. Do you think that Trinity have what it takes to get some points on the board?
Yes, well, their only hope is to ensure that they keep the ball away from the Royal forwards, isn't it? They have to ensure they play the game in the outside flanks. If they start getting into a physical confrontation against the Royalists, they're not going to make much headway, because whenever they have tried to do that, Royal have just continuously been knocking them behind the gain line, and that hasn't given their backs any momentum whatsoever. So that game plan, they have got to try and throw the ball. They've got to take a bit of a punt in this second half.
Literally and metaphorically take a punt over the Royal line, and perhaps also some quick passing to try and get the ball out to the wings. But that being said, Gamanayaka and Kalyana Ratna have been rocks in defense. The wind may have changed the angles just a little bit, coming now from the bottom right hand of your screen. Well, as the drone shot goes, bottom left hand of your screen there, up to the top. So bottom right to top left as it goes now. Ishan Kabekun has done a very good job in the first half. Gyan Yatavara and Hasan Taveranga. So your top referees at this Bradby Shield League game as well.
Okay.
Anuhas Koditoakku is another man who Trinity will be looking to for some inspiration, Sudarshana.
Yes, Trinity will be looking for inspiration. Trinity will be looking for someone to put his hand up and make sure that they deliver a performance of note, as Steven Pereira, heavily bandaged around his head, comes back into the field to kickstart the proceedings in this second half.
No.
Bandaranayaka is a man who gets smashed, and looks like they've heard Abdullah's advice and want to try and run early, but they need to try and keep the ball away from contact. But sticking to the same patterns. Again, wonderful tackle. Looked a bit dangerous, but there was nothing wrong with it at all as the ball is charged down once again. And can something come from this for Trinity? Not really, as Lucky Duherat makes the ball available once again for another phase. He's off the kickoff. And now Trinity will eventually look to clear. Gamanayaka. Julja Gamanayaka running across the field, still picking and going. Strong boy is Gamanayaka. And here's the try scorer, Bhuvaneka Senanayaka. It's available for Tiven, who's nice and deep in that pocket to try and give Randul Senanayaka a little bit of space to run into, but
entry.
That time Atugala was called for entering into the ruck, not through the gate but over the fence, and Trinity will have the first penalty of the half.
Important penalty for Trinity College. Now Anuhas Koditoakku need to try and get as much territorial advantage as they possibly can from this kick to make sure that his team can build on from there, and Anuhas does just that, advances his team approximately 40 meters.
It's a good kick from Anuhas Koditoakku. Made sure he found touch. Tackle made that time, and again going in was Lakin Duherat, and you can see very clearly that it was Kamina Srikanth that came in from the side, so it was number 1 rather than 7. Nicely won that time. Good movement in the line out, and it was Ilanga Ratna that took that ball nicely, giving Trinity a little bit of attacking ball. But again Atugala is the man who turns that ball over, and now Randula Senanayaka finds himself, Randula Bandara rather, finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Ball is knocked forward. Still going is Trinity. Royal just took a second to recover from that. Now they've got some space. Here's Jamil, manages to get the ball away. Abid Jamil. And we might have our first TMO referral. Did he knock that ball on, Sudarshana? Did he knock that ball on? We're going to have to take another look. It was an extravagant dive from Lakindu Herat, but we might need to go to the TMO. It was outstanding work from the line. Abid Jamil did superbly well to get that offload away to Lakindu Herat. But has Herat made a hash of it? We'll find out in a few minutes.
Number 10, wait.
Number 10, Thiven Pereira needs to listen to the referee, or else the referee has all the right to replace him permanently. He needs to calm down, heed to referee's advice. He wants the doctor to have a look.
Anil, on-field decision try. Can you check the grounding, please?
It's on-field decision. That it's a try. Television match official Anil Jayasinghe being prompted to check the grounding. The referee also having that slide out, just like you did, Chanaka, whether Lakindu Herat managed to really touch that ball down. That corner seems like the corner. Oh, well. Now that's a close one. Take a look at that. It looks like he lost control of the ball. Touching down Herat. Here's another angle. But is there downward pressure underneath his arm? Especially given the fact that it was a try awarded by the referee. Is there conclusive evidence? The earlier shot was more, I think, was more clear for the referee.
Well, there's clear separation between body and ball, and the rule is that you have to ground the ball with your upper torso above your waist, and it's very clear that he's fallen on it with his hip. So for me, it's not
goal
a
line
try.
drop.
Yeah, goal line drop.
A bit of a giveaway is the fact that the Trinity team are yet hanging around in the 25, isn't it? They haven't gone back beyond the halfway, so probably they're not too sure themselves.
Try. Knock forward.
Correct decision being made there. A no try, despite the on-field referees deeming that it was a touchdown. Royal will be breathing a massive sigh of relief on that Chanaka.
But also a word of commendation to Thiven Pereira. Never giving up. It was a try on all accounts, but just threw himself at that, and that impact forced a knock-on. So brilliant work by the Royal Vice Captain.
Yes, superb defense. I hope that doesn't mean that he's had to go off the field. He's still on. But we talked about Filio Kalyanaratne's try in that same corner. Here's Manzil. Can he spark something for his team? And Lakindu Herat put in a dive that was perhaps not necessary and ended up knocking the ball on. And this is something for all young players. Just ground the ball. Looked like it might have gone forward. Definitely was knocked on in the end. The pass to Jamil.
Yes, again, and if you look at it, Thiven Pereira once again in the thick of it defensively. Just look at his read, how brilliant he read it. This came out clearly forward pass, backed up by a knock-on. So Royal defensive structures just causing a lot of problems to this Trinity attack.
They're really good under pressure, aren't they, Abdullah? They identify where the threat is coming from. Don't focus only on the ball carrier, but make sure they know who the next man is getting the ball and take responsibility in running up and making the tackle. Really good defense. They're a real treat to watch when they come up against Isipatana eventually.
Same side ball.
Ball has wheeled and could be a same side putting.
Trinity managing to put pressure on that scrum, but referee Abekun deciding that Royal comes away with it. It's important that Trinity College continue to put pressure on the Royal forwards in scrum time. Try and hassle them. Not a very good hook. That's going to be hands, knees on the ground. Penalty in favor of Trinity College, who will look to try and capitalize from here on. The pressure I spoke about just before that scrum paying dividends for Trinity.
Well, it's nice to see that the Trinity College Tide 5, which has conceded easily about 30 kilos in weight to this Royal Tide 5, is managing to do the job here. So that will put a little bit of doubt in the minds of this Royal front row. But also one thing that separates this Royal side from many of the other sides in this league competition is the fact that they've got so much depth. They've got guys to bring off the bench, guys with experience. So we look at this bench, Coach Dushyant Luke, a Bradby winner himself. Know exactly what it's about. Next to him, Radhika Hettiarachchi. Again, the pressure at the line out has forced a knock on, and Royal will now have an opportunity to perhaps run. Tiven Pereira, lovely hands to Randul Bandara. Randul, and that time there's a little bit of an accidental collision between Bandara and his centre partner Dulce Gamanayaka, and that allows Trinity to maybe have another chance of attacking.
Time off.
Yes, it all looked very exciting, but again, Royal just trying to play a bit too much rugby from their own goal line, isn't it? The risk and reward, not quite sure. It's in favor of Royal. Just always prefer to clear your lines, because the back of your mind, you know that the goal line is the only thing that's behind you. So it's something Royal will just need to be aware of. Still 10 points to nil, a lot more to play for.
Become very conservative in your old age, Abdullah. That looked like it was a good breakout.
Time on.
The numbers were on.
Yeah, well, it's a percentage game, isn't it? You just have to weigh up your options. Got Trinity on the back foot. Do you want to bring them back into the game? Just play the game in Trinity's half as much as possible. You're playing with a considerable wind as well. So just got to take those factors into account and just play the percentages a bit more.
Bradby here at the Pallekelle in 1997. That was the first year the Bradby was played. As Abdullah Yusuf nods in agreement, he was part of that encounter. And also Trinity managing to win that Bradby against
That was 97, wasn't it, Abdullah?
Yeah, that's right. That was the first time it was played here, but there was a considerable break since that point of time.
Here's Bandaranayaka. Altaf leaves it, but the pop is a little bit too cute for Abekun.
Number 12. Hey, number 12, come.
You can see what he was trying to do, Sean Altaf. He's just trying to leave the ball for Senator Anuhas Kodituakku to rush into.
You're asking for a ball runner, a lot from your ball runner, isn't it, Shanaga? Running into a defense, the angle has got to be pretty accurate as the Trinity flyer. Fazil Marja looks on.
Well, we all remember him as a 16-year-old playing for Kingswood and just turning rugby on its head in the way that it used to be played. Sean Altaf will have no better mentor, that's for sure. Here's Tiven Pereira. Taken several blows to the head, but There's nothing to his ability with the boot. Altaf drills that nice and long, but Filio Kalyanarathne takes it well over his shoulder. Tackle again from Manzil, and that time the backs pile in and it's available for Bandaranayake. Now they need a little bit of space as Alexander gets his feet up. Here's his propping partner, Tiven Fernando. Altaf. Little bit of a dummy from Manzil. That tackle looked like it might have been a little high, but it keeps going.
Penalty advantage.
Offside is the call from the referee. And Trinity will have a penalty advantage coming. They've got some numbers on the outside. Manzil puts in another little step. He's the one who started it all. Bandaranayake.
Big penalty advantage.
Atugala is the one who puts his hands in and slows down the ball. Been so good at that today. Manzil with nice hands once again. The skipper featuring heavily in this passage of play. Now it's available for Altaf. Loves a little pop. And that time it's Pushparaj.
Oh, don't do that.
Bandaranayake. Altaf leaves it for the number 25 who's come on in place of Vanasekara.
Go back to the penalty.
Nothing coming, so they will come back for the penalty.
Repeat it again.
It's Faisal who has come in for Vanasekara in the number 25 jersey. But just no space for him as Royal again, even though they look like they were caught out, Abdullah managed to drift very efficiently.
Captain.
Yes, they're getting their numbers out wide, isn't it, in defense. Some good communication, good understanding when they don't have the ball in their hands. But Trinity looking very dangerous. The difference, Chanaka, is they're getting over the gain line more consistently now and giving their forwards a three-quarters rather an opportunity to launch attacks.
Repeated infringement, yellow card. Offside. Captain. Captain. One penalty there. One penalty here. What do you want? Yeah.
There will be no number 8. Or do they go to the line knowing that Roy's most lethal jumper is in the bin?
Well, they're giving young Shan Altaf another shot against the wind this time. They're keeping their confidence in him, which is good to see for the youngster. But Bhuvaneka Senanayake going out, it could be a momentum swinging period in the game, Altaf, Abdullah rather.
Yeah, that's right. So it'll be interesting to see how Royal manage the next 10 minutes or so. Not too disappointed with this decision Trinity make. If they can get some points on the board, then they've yet got about 8 minutes where Royal will be down to 14 players, which they can apply a bit of pressure. But it's just absolutely imperative that Altaf makes sure that he does put this over.
Just watch his standing foot. He's got a bit of an injury on it as well, on his quadriceps. That was a much better strike, much more balanced. And Shan Altaf gets his first points in a Bradby as a 16-year-old. If things go well, he'll have at least 3 more encounters to play, and who knows how many he might end up with. But these very much the first ones on the board against his name and on the board against Trinity's name today as well. So just a 1 score separating the two teams here in this 77th Bradby Shield encounter, also part of the league tournament in this 2023 Dialogue Rugby League. Live and exclusive on the Papare, wherever you are watching in the world. Anuhas Koditwatu drills that ball down, but there's no knock on because it came off the chest of the Royal winger, Seniviratne.
Good scrambling defense by Trinity College, who are showing some impetus Abid Mansil doesn't look himself.
Well, I think
eagerly
he's
watching over the proceedings. The chief guest of the game, Mr. Ashan Ratwat, alongside Trinity's principal, Father Arule Jayasundara.
looked very much like Lucky the Herath was still saying sorry to Manzil, his captain, and Manzil was like, I don't want to hear it.
Herath will do well to put that aside from his head and make sure that he gets a score. Try redeem himself. That will be bringing Trinity ever so close to that 10-point mark.
The scrum has been quite a revelation for me in terms of Trinity's ability against a much heavier pack. Thumping kick over the head of Nabil Yahya.
You can't play. Yeah, number 7 back.
Anuas Kodituaku covers it well. And this one again will hold up in the breeze. Taken brilliantly by Filio Kalyaranatne. Manages to find the ever-present Atugala. The penalty is coming. And as we spoke about momentum shifts, is this where that happens for Royal?
Terrific work by Trinity's defense, trying to put pressure on Royal College. They've gotten 3 points. Can they capitalize? Can they make sure that they get as many points they possibly can while they have that numerical advantage? Altaf, given the responsibility of finding touch, finds about 20 meters on that kick. Didn't get the connection he would have liked to. Filio offloading to Etugala. Good defensive work there by Dhanapala, who was the first man to that ruck. Showed daylight, tackled that ball.
Really good passages of rugby there. First from Kalyanaratne, who showed real presence of mind to offload to the correct man. And then Dhanapala entering through the gate, making sure he got his hands on the ball and dragged it through, not allowing Atugala to release properly and winning the penalty. Again, that one is not straight.
What do you want?
Well,
that
throw almost hit the lifter's head. Shanaga, luckily for him, the second row managed to catch it.
Right.
Well, this is a virus that has really plagued this entire schools league. Not many teams can get the ball in and win their own line out as a formality.
Number 8, number 8.
See Papare drone over all the dignitaries.
Couch.
The people in their Saturday best in the Pallekelle pavilion.
Bind. Set. Steady. Stay.
Shafiq all the way back to Yahya. Altaf has gone back and puts a beautiful kick in. What a wonderful kick from the youngster. All it took was that 3 points to go over for him. And it looks like he's found a new lease of life.
Well, how about that for a confidence booster for the young man? Take a look at him. In his own half, 50-22. This is going to put Royal under tremendous pressure. Trinity now need to make sure they execute this line out perfectly. They need to make sure they score from here and ride on the momentum. Big gush of wind. Trinity collects it cleanly. Setting up. Trinity on the charge now. Giving Royal a taste of their own medicine. Goes to the side. Referee yet to close once. Makes it available. Trinity just 5 meters out. Altaf to the new man in. Makes the ball available. Trinity still with an opportunity. Alexander steps in. Royal privy to Trinity's plans. Now Dhanapala carries the ball forward. Still Royal defense holding strong. Trinity change of mind, change of direction. Again a big thumping tackle on the ball carrier. Inside ball to Altaf. Now Kodituaku. Inside the 5 meters, Trinity looking for options. Bandanayaka wants the forwards to come. Forwards are a little too far away. Alexander carries it to the 5 meters. inches away from the try line. Trinity. Tenuk Fernando lines it up. Fernando for the line, but makes it available at the back. Trinity searching for that.
Referee
Still shot.
Ishan Kabekun right on the spot called that shot. Still available for Trinity. Alexander is in a little bit of strife, but it won't let him stop trying to get over the try line. Royal standing in this big yellow and blue wall, and that is exactly what that imposing set of Royal forwards can do. They just make you tired of life as you go smashing further and further into that wall without it yielding.
Royal College defensive work by the forwards, acting like a brick wall, drawing out that mistake from Trinity. Ravi Nilangaratna, the culprit that time for Trinity College. But Trinity will still bank on those forwards who really put Royal to test in scrum. They're missing one of their locks, as the name suggests. Locking the scrum is going to be crucial for Royal College. Kalyanaratna makes the angle better for Yaya. Yaya's kick doesn't find touch. Brilliant opportunity for Trinity to counter. Mansil into the 22 meters. Still goes as he was not held in the tackle. Mansil going, trying to create something for Trinity.
Lakindu Herak trying to get over for the second time. Bandaranayaka. Anuhas Koditu Akkuru makes the ball available nicely. Brilliant run from the Trinity inside centre. And now they have another chance. Tenuka Fernando. Love to see Disanaika carrying the ball a little bit more often. Almost to the line, 6 inches short. The penalty is coming. And the try is scored.
Disanga Disanaika gets the first try for Trinity College, who are making a comeback in the second half. And momentum is a very funny thing, just like Sanika mentioned. Trinity riding on that confidence of those 3 points, getting the score, an all-important score through their forwards. That would have given them a lot of confidence that they managed to do it around the fringes, taking on the Royal forwards. This was the earlier attempt. Trinity were found short, just inches. Then Tisanga Disanaika picking up, got a good connection, and referee Shankar Bekon right on spot.
Well, this is what I was saying. I want to see Disanaika carrying the ball, Sudarshana. And there's far too much carrying being done by Tenuka Fernando and Alexander. No disrespect to them, but they need to get out of the way and make sure they clear those rucks and allow these ball carriers to do the business. Can Shan Altaf at the finishing touches, and he can. It's 10 points all, Abdullah. Momentum has well and truly swung.
Absolutely. And Royal have just got Buareka Senaratna back on the field. But those 10 minutes have really proved costly as far as Royal are concerned.
Time out.
Trinity College now believe. Trinity now believe that they can try and put pressure on Royal College. Trinity now believe that they are able to try and capitalize on the momentum that they have. Royal seems like have been restored to their original number, but now the scoreline 10 points all.
15 minutes, a little short of 15 minutes left in this game. Anything could still happen, and we've been talking about how Royal are a second half side, a side who wear down their opponents. And here he is, rejuvenated by that try, Disanaika. Love to see him with the ball in hand a little bit more. With a dangerous Gamanaika this time. Faisal is swatted away.
Run away! Back.
Shafiq.
Offside!
Offside is the call from referee Abekun, and you could see very clearly that the Trinity defensive line was in front of the last foot. Shafiq uses the advantage to put a contestable kick up. Altaf takes it bravely. Smashed by Gamanaika, but referee will come back. He's been in the wars today, Abdullah. But what I was trying to say a few minutes earlier was it's not regular from the time when perhaps you were playing rugby to see 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds playing in the first 15 because conditioning has got so much better. And now these 16-year-old bodies really can't keep up. But this boy has done wonderfully, and Royal have targeted him.
Yeah, that's right. And to his credit, it was a very shaky start, and understandably so, playing in your first Bradby as 16-year-old. But as the game has gone on, he has grown in confidence, and he's definitely stamped his mark on this game.
Wonderful kick by Nabil Yahya, who's come to the field. Really, Royal will be banking on the forwards. Now it will be time for Royal forwards to really shine.
Manzil going in there and telling his forwards that he wants that ball by hook or by crook. The Trinity captain has been inspirational in the last 10 minutes or so. He knows that this is a golden opportunity that he can't allow to slip away. And let's not forget that this game will also have a bearing on the league. It probably won't affect Royal's chances of advancing into the next round. But it
won't probably affect Trinity's chances as well, because they are well and truly out. But like you mentioned, yes, definitely the ultimate league winner. That can have a massive impact on the result of this game.
Good movement and back from the sin bin. Buanaka Senanayaka shows how much Royal value him. He was sin bin for repeated infringements. And really good defense from Trinity that time. That's not an easy thing to do, Sudarshana.
Oh well, that will give a world of confidence to the Trinity forwards. Royal will be in two minds. What do we do from here on? Because Trinity is marking their line out pretty well. But now, the onus is on Trinity to try and execute this line out well. Senanayaka, who's been a real headache for the Trinity hooker and the jumpers, are back.
Don't cross the gap. Yellow.
Nicely done that time by Trinity at the front. Altaf. Disanayaka. Altaf stands in the pocket once again. The ball was inside the 22 meters, but it holds up in the wind. Gamanayaka dragged down. And really good defensive work once again from Trinity to make sure that Royal go off their feet. And Gamanayaka lacked a little bit of support.
Tenek Fernando, I can tell you, is one of those leaders and a talker in the Trinity forwards, wearing the number 1 jersey. Likes to get into the ear of the opponents, and also sometimes has a little chit chat with the referees. No harm there. When you're a front rower, you got to have a very thin line whether you can have a chat to the referee or not. Here's what happened. Gamanayaka has a terrific left hand, but arriving player Filio Kalyanarathna losing his footing.
Faisal with a good tackle there. He's come off the bench and done incredibly well. Coming on for Sachin Wanasekara, the most dangerous of Trinity's backs. They were unfortunate to lose him early doors. This ball is well overthrown, but Alexander manages to recover it. Here it is through Dhammapala. Bandaranayaka, Altaf. It's not a great pass. And Lakindu Herath knocks on again. It hasn't been a day to remember for him.
Disappointing for Lakindu Herath. Unfortunate miss for him, because Trinity looked on the up. As we take a closer look at some fans who've gathered here at the grandstand. We are right on top. If the drone can come visit us as well. Yes, just up there.
Yes, Bandaranayaka. Altaf's pass was just a little bit too hard. Not making eye contact. Lakindu Herath looking up at the defense, and that's what defense does, isn't it, Abdullah? Just creates nerves.
It's been a massive momentum switch from the time Royal got that yellow card, wasn't it? Buonika Seniratnam visiting the sin bin, and Trinity just seemed to get another lease of life, and they've definitely upped the ante. Momentum definitely moving in their direction. Royal just need to try and wrest control back of this game, try and get some points on the board. We were expecting that second half surge from Royal, but that just hasn't been the case, and full credit to Trinity for their efforts in the second half.
That was entirely the jumper's fault. Could have done better. He turned his body a little too early. Didn't show the referee enough of his inside shoulder.
And now we're looking at Trinity bench here at Pallekelle, revving to go. They'll be waiting for their opportunity to try and have their say on this first leg. Trinity need to continue putting pressure on Royal in this line out. Beg your pardon, the scrum.
Can see that the scrum has started to disintegrate a little. Tenuka in the on the loose head side. It's causing a few problems for Royal. Lasita Attanagoda, the candy prop, sure would have done quite a bit of work with these front rowers. The dark arts that Buddhika Talagampala, who was a line-out specialist, will not be as conversant with. Again, more pressure coming on, and Shafiq has to dig the ball out from in between his second rower's legs. Lakindu Herat does enough to...
Advantage, not crawling away.
Too slow to roll, says referee Shankar Bekun, who has been consistent but very strict on that particular offence, as referee should be. Shafiq goes to the back. And the kick goes out on the full, but no danger, as Royal will have had the penalty advantage.
63 minutes on our clock. The NDB win predictor currently has it 50-50. 10 points all. I wouldn't see it any other way.
Yes, so Royal have decided to go to the post, kicking with the wind. They've got their best place kicker on the field in Nabilia here. So a logical move. Just got to get some points to just stop this momentum. We are approaching the last 5 minutes of this game. Full credit to Trinity the way they have come back in this second half.
Remember, it's important to make sure, even if you go down to the opposition in this first leg, it got to be within arm's reach. There is a second leg. The league matters. Nabil Yahya lines it up. Connection is not so very good, but Trinity need to make sure that they get out of jail. Altaf putting the ball to boot. It's still in play. Kalyana Ratna looks for option. Now Gamanaika with the ball, tucks it in, makes it available. Shafiq with a box kick. Underneath it is Altaf, who has skipper in support. Filio has dropped down. Royal not opting to kick the ball, wanting to play rugby in their own half. Gamanaika tackled. Trinity trying to put pressure on that ruck.
No, number 4.
Royal forwards will have to do a lot of work as Akram Farouk tucks it in. Shafiq with the box. Mansil is underneath. And his kick is too flat. Royal pounces on that ball. Opportunity for Royal now. Veerasekara.
No.
Shafiq again with a box kick. Nobody at the back for Trinity. Luckily for Trinity, there was nobody who was striking that ball. Trinity with an opportunity to get out of jail. Altaf with the kick into the 22 meters. Gamanaika has plenty time because there were no chases for that ball. Gamanayaka trying to break away.
Ball away.
Support arrives from Royal
No, no.
College. Trinity trying to put pressure on that ruck, but Royal forwards are secure around the ruck. Another kick.
Taken well by Manzil. That time it goes behind Altaf. The chasers are coming and the
Second
young
release.
man has to
Clear release.
get a bit of support, which he does.
Clear release first.
Can see that Shyam is having a conversation with the referee about whether there was a clear release or not. But
Use it.
Trinity have it now.
Get back, last foot.
Some good box kicking by Shafiq, which keeps Royal in the territorial advantage. And similarly, Altaf playing the kicking game to Gamanayaka, who's lost a bit of gas. He's been doing plenty of running, but not with the same amount of power that he did in the first half. Manzil immediately looking to the bench. And Dinuk Bhaskaran, our co-commentator in the crowd, yelling, take the points.
Right in front of the post. 3 points on offer. 10 all here at Pallekelle with 3 minutes to go. Trinity College, no prizes for guessing what they want to do. They want to take the 3 points. 2.5 minutes, says the referee. Here's what Gamanayaka collected it inside the 22 meters. Could have called for mark or opted to get one of his mates to clear it out, but Trinity doing absolutely well. Tackler assist coming there, tackling on that ball. Harit Samaravira, take a bow, because what you did could put Trinity in the lead. Sean Altaf lining it out now, lining it up now.
So Altaf just about to take the kick.
Youngster got two kicks,
Water out.
got confidence. Connects this one, absolutely no problem as Pallekelle erupts in celebration. Trinity 13 points to 10 in the lead. 2.5 minutes to go as the smoke bombs go off in the Trinity student crowd. 2.5 minutes, can Trinity hold on?
Altaf straight down the middle. He's been a changed man after he got his first points.
Number 8.
Fazil Marija, a little earlier on your screen,
Number 8 off.
told me that playing has absolutely nothing on coaching in terms of stress. Said he loved playing and just can't handle the stress of coaching because it's just so much greater than when you're in this position as a player.
Important restart for both teams.
Yeah, opts for territory rather than the contestability of the kick. Dhanapala. There's only one place Trinity want to be, and that's at the opposite end of the field. Ball doesn't go into touch, and Gamanayaka, who gave away the last penalty, will give it to Yahia this time. Bhuvaneka Senanayaka.
Seems like referee Shankar Bekon got in the middle of action.
Well, Bhuvaneka Senanayaka needed to get back. Absolutely correct call from Ishan Kabekun. Senanayaka had his hands up and he was hanging around near the Trinity receiver, and he needs to make an active attempt to get back 10 meters away. So that's what he didn't do.
Yes, it's an area of the game where Royal just haven't adapted, isn't it? Their kicking game today has been very poor, and the option of when to kick and when not to kick, they just haven't been as accurate. Trinity again have played the percentages much better in this second half. When they were in their own half, they just kicked it down the field, let Royal commit the error, and they have pounced on whatever error Royal has committed. So that was another occasion where the Royal just not retreating. It was a poor kick, and Trinity have definitely benefited from it.
So Trinity have the ball, and all they need to do is kick it out without trying to do anything silly. Just take the ball and run out, mate. But in fact, he opts to go for a little run himself. Bandaranayaka still going for the points. He wants to make sure this Bradby is locked up. Despite it being the last play of the game, Sudarsana. Don't know what they're thinking.
Okay, turnover good.
And now Royal have it for the last hurrah at Pallekelle. This is going to be one of those great comeback wins for the ages. Lovely ball from Yahia. Slipping on the turf was the Royal winger, Senimiratne.
No, release.
Here it is for Senanayaka, who gave away the penalty. Will want to do something for his team. Here's the space opening up for Randul, the skipper. This is edge of the seat stuff. Fingernail ending stuff. Filio Karunaratne. New scrum half on the pitch for Royal. Srikanth was the man who did the damage. Royal still with their continuity. Good tackle that time by Dhanapala. Here it is available for the initial try scorer Kalyanaratne. Gamanayaka with a lovely fend. Manzil stops him just short of the 22-meter line. Can Royal go 60 meters to score what will be a try for the ages? Buaneka looking for his second try of the game. Long ball over the top for Randul Bandara. Anuas Kodituaku makes an important tackle and eventually they drive Royal towards the touchline. Kalyanaratne in the fly half position. Kalyanaratne almost dropped that one but did really well to grab it back. Trinity trying to counteract. Putting his body on the line once again was Dhanapala. Now the ball over the top. It's not a good one. And the ball goes into touch. And Trinity have the unlikeliest of unlikely victories in the Bradby Shield encounter. 13 points to 10. The identical score between DS Senanayak and St. Thomas's yesterday. And Shan Altaf stepping up under pressure and putting his team in front. And Trinity College with a win that will be remembered for a long, long time.
Oh, what a game! Absolutely terrific stuff. Trinity College managing to take the Royalists by the scruff of their neck, making sure that their supporters have something to cheer at. It's not done here at the Bradby Shield, but 13 points to 10. Trinity College have humbled the Tuskers. Trinity College have humbled the table leaders of this group. Third place Trinity will want to make sure that they carry their performance for the next leg. But what a win. What an absolutely brilliant win. 10 points to nil in the first half. 10 points to nil for Trinity. 13 points to nil for Trinity in the second. And they take the win.
We have to talk about a man of the match, Sudarshan and Abdullah. And if it needs to come from a Trinity player, for me, Shan Altaf was really good as well. But I thought Anuhas Kodituaku was the man who really kept Trinity on the front foot, was outstanding in defense, and he just picked Shan Altaf for me as the man of the match today.
Yes, despite missing out on those important first couple of kicks, Shan Altaf delivered a brilliant game. And also I do agree with you, Anuhas Kodituaku. Inspirational stuff, wearing that number 12 jersey in defense and in attack. And I'm good between the both of them, Shanika, for a man to be nominated as the NDB player of the match.
Well, these scenes are not scenes that are familiar to Trinity College schoolboys because they have been at the receiving end of many, many losses in this rugby encounter between these traditional rivals. They won the last one, and is this the start of an upsurge for Trinity College rugby? They've faced real problems with not having enough players coming for practice, not being able to field teams at the under-18 encounter. But it's nice to see that somehow Trinity Rugby is still alive, Abdullah, even for you as a Royalist.
Yes, it's right. I don't think Royal underestimated the magnitude of the task, regardless of past form. We always knew that Trinity was going to turn up. But what we have to give Trinity a lot of credit for is the way they came back in the second half. Being 10 points to nil down, the way they came back in the second half is what they will take a lot of heart for. We were talking about that Royal surge in the second half, but that never came. It was on the contrary, Trinity that really took the game up and ante, and full credit to them. But what we've got to remember is, as a Royalist, without dampening the Trinity spirits too much, they've got to come back to the Royal Complex next week. It's just a 3-point lead. So Royal will definitely have to lick their wounds, as it were, re-look at what went wrong in this game, and I'm fairly sure that they've got the experience, they've got the quality to come back. But today, the day and the night will definitely belong to Trinity.
Well, the last time Royal visited Pallekelle, the Trinity won the game, could not celebrate. They had surrendered the Bradby. Here at the first leg, they've made sure that they create the pedestal to go all the way. You can hold that lion all high up, young man, because the man wearing that red, gold, blue has done the Trinity fraternity proud. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Their composure, especially given the fact that, like Abdullah mentioned, to be down to Royal College 10 points to nil, who are traditionally play very well in the second half, was absolutely terrific. But Trinity College managing to make sure that they go the distance, that they are victorious here at the first leg. As we take a look at the Royal team, not used to surrendering or not used to losing the Bradbys for the past couple of years. 13 points to 10. Full-time confirmation here at Pallekelle, as Trinity have done the most desired. They've started off the Bradby Shield with a win. It may be 3 points, but it's a world of advantage they will be taking down to Colombo. And all of you Trinitians who are going to be celebrating late into the night, Keys Crest Nightmares is going to be your ideal accompaniment. And all of you Royalists as well who are going to enjoy the night here in Colombo, they will for sure want to have a bite of that as well. Royal traveling fans encouraging the players, telling them it's not over yet. Fasil Marija, you won't see him celebrating until the deal is done. He's won too many things to know you cannot celebrate until the fat lady sings.
As Abdullah said, there's absolutely nothing in this. It's just a 3-point game, and it is half-time. And we all know how Royal respond when they have suffered a little bit of a setback, just as they did in the first match of this season, when they went down to St. Peter's and came back roaring in the following games. So Trinity will know that this is a wonderful achievement for them. This is an emotional release for them, but they will know that they have it all to do, and they have plenty to do in this week of preparation. Ashan Ratwat is glowing. He's absolutely ecstatic at what his team have pulled out of the magician's hat today. He would have wanted to preside over a Trinity College win, and he's not only done that, he's actually presided over a spectacular Trinity College win. He'll be happy that his lineage was involved in some small way, with Tarinder Ratwata being involved in the coaching, and I'm sure he would have had some impact on the way Sean Altaf read and played the game this time. That was the conversion that really put Sean Altaf into some confidence. Sisanga Disanayake here, barging his way over some monumental Royal defense, it has to be said. Shyam just not having enough to stop him there. And Altaf with a nicely balanced kick. 3 kicks he put over today. And boy, were they important for his team.
Oh, as the crowd strong in front of the grandstand. The key stats of the game, Trinity College, just a single try. Royal scoring through. But those 2 penalties, Trinity opted to go for, paying dividends at the end. 1 converted try and 2 penalties for Trinity College. And the man who made the difference, Shan Altaf, the 16-year-old, first 5'8" of Trinity College, the NDB player of the match. Incredible afternoon of rugby, and here are the key stats. Tackles made. Look at the sheer number of tackles being made, but the penalties conceded by Royal really hurting them. They got 2 points, 2 penalties converted. Trinity missed out 2 as well, Shanak. If they were converted, think the scoreline would have read much different.
Trinity lost a few lineouts, but it didn't hurt them in the end. But those penalties conceded, discipline is something that Coach Dushant Luke is going to have a really stern chat to his lads about. 17-8, that's more than double, Sudarshana, and that's where Royal lost this game, and I'm sure they have enough quality in their ranks to make sure that they can come back and fix that problem, because it's an easy fix, and Trinity will have it all to do when they go down to Colombo for the second leg.
Oh, the game in Colombo is going to be a long and hard one for the Lions travelling, but Royal will come out with venom when we go down to Colombo. Incredible game of rugby here at Pallekelle coming to an end, but the rugby action does not stop on the Papare.com. We have plenty more coming to you this week. Kingswood College taking on same place, same time tomorrow. This is very important for the Antonians to get a bonus point victory to keep their hopes of securing the second round qualification. Vidyartha taking on Zahira at Bogambara. They will play for pride, and for Vidyartha it's important that they get a win, especially given the fact that Trinity have gotten a win from this end to qualify for the all-important knockouts and finish in the top 8 of the table. Dialogue Schools Rugby League Week 6. The penultimate week in the middle, but next week will be the final week of the Dialogue Schools Rugby League. Antonians taking on the Tomians. This could be a virtual playoff for both St. Thomas's and St. Anthony's. DSN Anayaka College taking on the Josephians. DSN Anayaka College, if they win their encounter, they are through. St. Joseph's, if they don't win their encounter, they will miss out on the knockouts. So it's going to be important. Zahira versus Trinity. Trinity get to travel down to Colombo for the first time this season, and they will be very happy that they can get their charges going in Colombo just before the Bradby. Patriots, of course, getting a comfortable win today, will take on Vidyartha College at Bambalapitiya and will want to continue the momentum. Kingswood College taking on Wesley. That is for the Blase. That is going to be at Bogambara again. That is on the 30th. And Science taking on Dharmaraj College in Mount Lavinia. All the action brought to you definitely on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com, and this is going to be a clash and a half if we are to go by anything that was in front of our eyes here at Pallekelle. Trinity taking on Royal College at the Royals Den. The Tuskers Den at a Royal Complex. Trinity will want to make sure that they continue their good form. Royal will come back with venom. That's on 5th of August, 3:30 p.m. from the Royal Complex on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. Make sure you log on to thepapare.com and catch the action, and do not miss any action of this incredible Bradby Shield. 77th encounter of the Bradby Shield, brought to you on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub.
and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience. ජීවිතය අත්තිනින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. VKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the digital youth account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
මේ ජොබ් එක අදම කරන්න ඕනේ. අදම? No problem.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
Black? No problem.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි.
නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට. Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්දිනින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න. Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
හිත තාලනට වෙන පන්නිනිම වින්නුනා සරදාවී අතනාරි කොක්තුමී පන්තමා කොක්තුමී පන්තමා ප්‍රීමා කොක්තුමී පන්තමයි
Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්ස් මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්ස නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
හිත තාලනට වෙන පන්නිනිම වින්නුනා සරදාවී අතනාරි කොක්තුමී පන්තමා කොක්තුමී පන්තමා ප්‍රීමා කොක්තුමී පන්තමයි
Your embrace so warm with one more bite of Revelo for sunshine. Don't wanna miss this pouring rain, pleasing my soul with one more bite of Revelo for the rain.
Have you heard about Z?
ZZ. VKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
නැවුම් බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවීධී සමකට කැමෝයිල් බික් ෂේවිං ෆෝම් අත්විදිය හැකි වෙනසකට
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
නැවුම් බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවීධී සමකට කැමෝයිල් බික් ෂේවිං ෆෝම් අත්විදිය හැකි
Me hollering at the moon.